This story of Kenpo Karate has been over 50 years in the making. This story is about an American martial art, American Kenpo Karate. But this story is also about this special man, Ed Parker, the man who developed this art, who made it practical, and who made it a science. Dubbed the father of American karate, Edmund K. Parker, Senior Grandmaster, 10th degree black belt, who opened the first commercial karate school in the mainland USA in 1954.
He was a man that with a couple of simple moves could shape the building.
But this story is also about his students, the ones who learned directly from Mr. Parker, the ones who put what they learned into action, the ones that saw it firsthand, the ones who had their questions answered so they could learn good Kenpo, so they could perform good Kenpo, so they could use good Kenpo, so they could teach good Kenpo, and help others do the same. This story is about the ones who committed themselves to developing this art and keeping the flame burning. These are the black belts who were there. Ed Parker's Kenpo is a complex system. Many of these black belts spent decades perfecting what they learned from Mr. Parker.
As far as my lifetime work, this is all I've ever done in my life. In about almost 40 years.
Many have left behind legacies, some in competitions,
if it's left to left, shoot it this hand as you shove.
some through the black belts they created, some in the public view,
Kenpo, it really is the science of street fighting.
some on the seminar circuit,
I try to evoke a better technique. Faster, stronger, more masterful than the last time.
some with videos,
People don't become teachers to hold things back. They want to teach it to the best of their ability, so I want you to know this so you can pass it on.
some with books,
You know, if you want to be good at Kenpo, you should take a look at all the people that studied Mr. Parker, because they all have something different to contribute.
My principles or my honor. Should it be a matter of life or death, of right or wrong, then here are my weapons. Karate, my empty hands.
we want to know their specialities. We want to know what they did with Kenpo. This is about how they continue with Kenpo, how they contributed, how they helped to mold, help to spread, and how they helped to mainstream this incredible art of Mr. Parker's.
If I had 100 students, brand new students, never had a lesson in their life, when I'm done with those 100 people, I will have created 100 different individual and unique styles of Kenpo.
This is also about the rise of American Kenpo from a single karate studio opened in 1954, the first commercial karate school in the mainland United States. And this is about the rise of a new tribe of martial artists, a tribe who does more than punch and kick. Black belts who do more than just perform motion. Black belts who understand the logic behind Mr. Parker's art. Black belts who learn as much about the core principles of combat as they do about physics, anatomy, science, and street survival. Black belts who develop not only brawn but intellect. Black belts who can hit hard and fast, but who can also understand the principles of concepts of motion and self-defense. Our journey brings us through nearly 4 decades of history of Ed Parker's Kenpo Karate. Mr. Parker trained and promoted this new tribe of black belts starting in the 1950s, continuing into the 1960s and the 70s, and finally expanding his group even further until the end of the 80s, at which time his International Kenpo Karate Association enjoyed global recognition. Originally from Hawaii, Mr. Parker developed this new and practical martial art by studying not only the linear motions, which were emphasized by James Matozzi, but also the flowing circular characteristics of Chinese martial arts, which Mr. Parker learned from William Chow, his main teacher. Coupling those two approaches with Mr. Parker's own experience of Western disciplines such as boxing, wrestling, and a completely new system of self-defense was born, overcoming the limitation of most older traditional martial arts. This new approach marked the first time a complete American martial art was introduced to the world, and this new tribe of black belts were eager to not only understand and learn this new method, but to introduce it to the public. These were the first generation of a completely new type of black belt practitioner. For the first time, traditional martial arts and Western thought were effectively combined to form one of the most practical forms of street self-defense ever conceived. To boost his success, Ed Parker now started to successfully infiltrate the Hollywood scene, teaching notable actors such as Steve McQueen, Bruce Lee, Joe Hines, Joey Bishop, and many more, and of course, the late Elvis Presley. And so this second generation of modern Kenpo black belts swelled to huge numbers of American martial art practitioners, lifting this new and innovative system of defense to one of the fastest growing martial arts, not just in the USA, but in other countries as well. By the time Mr. Parker completed the development of his new art in the 1980s, the final generation of Kenpo black belts who studied directly with him at that time were now treated not only to a vast global network of Ed Parker black belts to learn under, but were dramatically aided by the large number of books, detailed instructor journals, and even videos, all of which were written and produced by Ed Parker. Only 3 years prior to his passing, a complete new and updated set of teaching manuals now represented the most complete record of even the most minute detail of Kenpo motion and application as it was developed by Edmund K. Parker. Many have taken advantage of this monumental body of knowledge and have committed themselves to the continuous growth of this incredible martial art, Kenpo Karate.
The 1991 Memorial IKCs were the first international since Mr. Parker passed away. I managed to do pretty well that year. I came in 3rd place in Kenpo forms. I had to beat Jeff Speakman in order to do that. I pushed him down to 4th place. But the real attraction that year was the Kenpo demonstration that we put on in honor of Mr. Parker. This was the year that I met Mervyn Ormond and Jackie McVicker, who were, by the way, a great help with the demo. So were a lot of other notables in Kenpo. I mean, Gilbert Velez was helping out, Barbara Hale was helping out, Dennis Canazza was helping out. Anybody who was there who was able was helping out. Right? The demo was huge. We were spilling all the way into the aisleways at the finals night. Right?
There's your grab.
Only that. Body momentum, what else?
Bracing angle.
Bracing angle, how is the angle bracing?